Good morning, YouTube family. This is Take 5 with Nanette, where we spend a few moments looking at a negative information that has the potential to help all of us change our perspective and learn to think for a change. It's fall. What goes through your mind when it's fall? What is it that you find yourself thinking about? What is it that inspires you? If you have young kids, is it that your kids go back to school? You know, it's interesting. This morning I was thinking about change in seasons, change in times. And all of that creates something that is like a shift, whether it's a shift in how you take care of your lawn, whether it's just a shift in how you dress, how you think. Because if you go to work and it's winter, it's like, do I need to get up and warm my car? Do I need to scrape snow off my car? Do I need to scrape snow out of my driveway? Am I even going to be going to work because of snow? Or if you don't live anywhere where there's snow, you know, you don't have that issue, but you maybe have others. Maybe you have problems with pipes freezing if it just gets too low, like for instance happened in Texas when they're not used to having weather like they had last year. You know, but either way around it, a change in season, a change in times creates a shift in perspective. If we were not willing to make that shift, when we're not willing, if we were not, no, I say when, but if we were not willing to make that change, then what happens is it creates unnecessary problems for ourselves. It creates unnecessary problems for others. It very often complicates, just flat outright complicates issues. So what I wanted to do today was get you to look at areas in your life, whether it's personal, financial, health, spiritual. I don't like to call the spiritual an area, because the spiritual, that's what the Western culture does. It separates spiritual from all that stuff. And basically the Bible calls it, puts it all together, and there's a wholeness to that, and Eastern culture doesn't do that. And actually there are ways that they're way more healthy as whole beings because they don't do that. So anyway, but are there some areas in your life where you need a shift, where God is calling you to shift, where natural circumstances are moving towards a shift, and you're fighting it? You got a bad attitude about it, or, you know, with the fighting it, for me, one of the things I realized is very often I rebelled against it, which never worked in my favor. You know, one of the things that I thought of years ago, the Lord gave me this example years ago when I was resisting something that He was doing in my life that was actually very much for my good, but I was really resisting it and had a bad attitude about it and everything. And but it showed me a car, and that a car that was needing to make a turn. The road was naturally turning, and that car was needing to make that turn. And instead of doing what I needed to do to make the turn and just going with it, kind of like when there's snow in your car, you want to, when your car begins to slide, the thing you want to naturally do is turn the opposite direction, but you actually need to go with it and slowly move it back to where it was, instead of fighting against it. But the Lord showed me that if I didn't slow down and do the necessary things I need to, that I was actually creating the disaster that was going to happen, or the wreck, not necessarily huge disaster, but the collision, the wreck, the damage that it was going to cause to me. Now, yeah, it might cause damage to others and other things too, but it was going to cause the most damage to me. And was I going to go with what he was doing or work against it? So I hope this helps you today. Thanks for joining me, and we'll talk to you next time.